Here's Nick Folk ready to put this one in the air. And we are underway from Miami. And a short kick taken at about the 16. And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. The Dolphins take the field with Tua Tagovailoa, their quarterback from Alabama, at the helm.
And there's a word that constantly gets thrown around with this guy when you talk to anyone in the building. Potential. They are sky high on what they believe he can grow into in the role of a starting quarterback. In addition, there are plenty around the league who think that as well. And years from now, he can still be leading this offense out.
They'll run with Pollard to begin the drive. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. The rushing numbers for Pollard last week, 21 carries, 71 yards.
They're coming off of back-to-back wins, and I think a lot of credit belongs to this guy right here because, to me, he's not only carried his weight, he's carried a few other guys along as well. He's helped draw defensive attention away from not just him, but open things up for his teammates, too. So if this winning streak is going to continue to have some legs to it,
he'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. So now after the sack, Tua and the Dolphins staring at a 3rd and long. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. He'll get this to his tight end, Gesicki. A gain of 4, not enough, and it looks like punt time on their opening drive as it's 4th down. Well, able to get the completion, but unfortunately not able to get the 3rd down conversion there on that play.
And I like how the defense approached that one. They knew where the 1st down marker was, and they decide whatever you want to have, you can. You're just not going to get the 1st down. Excellent tackling right there.
And taken right on the 30. It's a 42-yard punt, but 8 on the return. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. So now we'll get a look at the other offensive unit as they come out for their first possession. They'll be led out by their 5'11" quarterback from Wisconsin by way of NC State, and that's Russell Wilson.
And he comes to the end of the season leading the NFL in passing yards. And that's not necessarily something you set out to do at the beginning of the year, but it's a good illustration of how remarkable and consistent he's been all season.
Skirts by him at the 35. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
No surprise to see him running again here. It's something he's done throughout this season. And that run puts him over 500 yards on the ground for the year. He's got to be thinking to himself, if I'm already at 500, what's to stop me from going for 1,000?
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. Wide open receiver complete. Touchdown Broncos. A great effort there. 31 yards. And the Broncos put the night's first points on the board as they take the early lead. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Nick Folk for the point after. He hasn't missed an extra point all season, and he won't miss this one either, and it's 7-0. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. And a short kick taken at about the 16. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. So Miami coming out for their second drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And he'll get this up over the 25 and the 26. 8 yards on the run there, and that trims it to a 3rd and 11 coming up. This defense for the Broncos, they really played well a week ago in that win over the Jets.
And with the playoffs ahead, this is how you build momentum, because they pitched a shutout last week, and I don't care who you're playing. That's not easy.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain, and the Broncos are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
After the interception, here's Wilson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he gets all the way down inside the 20-yard line. A big change in field position there. That's 40 yards on the catch and run.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Broncos are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
Folk connects on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. Fields this way up at the 17. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Miami's offense set and ready to go. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. Flush to it, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Bradley Chubb in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for him.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. His throw incomplete.
And this drive is almost over before it began, thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on 1st down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. Calling a gain of 3 on the play, and it'll be 4th down. 4th down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And it's fielded at the 34.
Give me 1 second, guys. Just trying out a backup running back quick. He's a rookie. Let's put the rookie in, see how he does.
And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt. And that will come the offense as they take over. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here.
It has been about as perfect of a start to this game as these guys could have asked for, Charles. They've scored on their first 2 drives. They still haven't given anything up on the other side of the ball, so they can already make this a 3-score game here if they can come away with points on this drive.
Yeah, they're almost pushing them to the brink, aren't they, partner? Almost to the point now where it's a loss of words for me, which I know would excite all of our viewers, but you're just not supposed to see that type of dominance so quickly in a game like this. Everything they've done has been working so far. Offense, defense, you name it, it's going well for them.
And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35.
A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They go to the ground again with Taylor. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
So, Charles, you know, for this offense, we've been talking all year about how difficult it would be to run the table. And you gave me your chances early in the year. You thought maybe 25%. A few weeks ago, you thought closer to 50, but not quite 50. Now, here they are, 15-0. This is happening, isn't it?
I think it is, Brandon, because I do believe this team is too invested, too well coached to fall asleep at the switch now. And I think it ultimately benefits them to stay engaged all the way through the season because make it to the finish line, then they get the open week to refresh and re-energize. But if you get off the gas now, that can really hurt you come playoff time.
Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be 4th down and a few inches. Here we go with Williams. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a 1st down. They're able to keep the drive alive. 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. Another good carry there for the NFL's 2nd leading rusher, and we've talked on air, off air about his MVP candidacy. Make a case for him.
Well, I'm just going to tell you point blank, it doesn't matter whether he's 1st or 2nd or even
touchdown. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now.
And the Broncos have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Well, just a sensational start for this offense, Charles. 3 drives, 3 passing touchdowns.
Is that like mentioning a perfect game in baseball, or are we cool to do it here in football, partner?
No, I think you can do it here in football. I think perfect game in baseball, that's its own category.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. Could not imagine a worse start for that secondary, or let's face it, a better one for this offense. No chance they stop passing now the way that it's going. I think they'll continue to press the ball downfield and hopefully reap the same results.
Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board.
A fairly short kick from the 14. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Miami set to take over. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score it here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
Good work on the scamper by Tagovailoa. It's a 1st down.
I don't think that run was anything that was designed, but when his reads were blanketed as he went through his progressions, all that was left was for him to run and try and pick it up himself.
Setting to throw on 1st down is Tua. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Josie Jewell. And the Broncos are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. Well, we've seen a lot of mistakes here in this first half, and another there on the interception.
Yeah, they're certainly starting to pile up, aren't they? Because, let's face it,
Hang on one more second, guys. I'm just changing a couple players here quick. Go to depth chart. Oh crap, I did it again. Go here, go to depth. Go here, go to wide receivers. Go to Judy, put in Uncle William. Nope, can't do it. Let's put in Washington, why not? Poor Judy.
We expect a miscue here and there, but they're already down 3 scores and still giving the ball away. If they want to get back into this one, they've got to take care of the ball because right now the way they're playing doesn't say a whole lot for their chances.
Good starting position for the Broncos here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 46. Out to his left. He's going to launch it for Washington. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Russell Wilson now with 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And the Broncos continue to pull away here in this first half. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big strike like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
Extra point up and good by Folk, and that makes the score 28-0. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. A fairly short kick from the 14. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. The last 2 plays from scrimmage in this ball game pretty eventful. He throws the interception. The other guys, boom, 1 play and they're in the end zone. So now he's got to try to bounce back. 1st and 10. He was looking for Tim Patrick that time. And now it's 2nd down.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first half scores just like this one.
A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down, then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a 1st down.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
On 1st down, they go right back to Hunt. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. They'll run again with Hunt. And he's got some space here. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 40 yards rushing for him now on just his first 3 carries.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Now after the run by Hunt, here's 1st and 10. Here's a give up the middle. And some room to maneuver. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. 25 yards to pick up there and also a 1st down.
Now a timeout called for by the offense, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number one. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Hunt will try going up the middle, and he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown.
Kareem Hunt, his 7th rushing touchdown of the year, and the Broncos will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
They have really had their way so far in the first half, but they wanted to continue to build on their lead. They know that no lead is safe in this league, so they decided to try their best to get one more as they headed into the half, and they got it done.
Folk connects on the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board.
Pulls it in at the 13. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Dolphins taking over now late in this first half. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive.
2 and now on 1st down. Now they go screen. It's complete. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. 1st down.
And this pass rush has really been bringing the heat and has already gotten home a few times here in the first half. So how about the play call there? Sometimes if you can't protect, you've got to pull them. Screen passes like that can take a little steam out of what's been a relentless rush so far.
They fake the handoff. Now Tua.
Oh, Tua going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. Picked off by Josie Jewell.
And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown.
Well, no surprise to see that one, partner. The league's #1 defense coming through with a huge pick 6.
And it's plays like that one that have made them the most feared group to face this year. Offenses, they're trying to figure out how to work around them rather than work through them. Big-time impact playmakers scattered throughout the unit on every level, and they can change a game at a moment's notice.
Extra point up and good by Folk. And the route is on here in this first half. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board.
Pulls it in at the 13. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. And the Dolphins with one final possession here in this first half.
And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot. This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Back to the air on 2nd down, Tagovailoa. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Bradley Chubb bringing the pressure yet again. That's his 3rd sack here tonight.
So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
So the Broncos come back out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the AFC. Well, we do know, Charles, they will be in the playoffs. They currently sit at pole position #1, but nothing's set in stone right now. They still have to earn that top spot.
And it makes me reflect back to preseason when you and I do our tour.
There he goes, right side. And all the way home for a Bronco score. A big play there. 72 yards.
And the Broncos have got it on cruise control.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. Folk connects on the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just one play resulting in the touchdown. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board.
Fields this way up at the 17. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. And the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10
at their own 27.
So the drive's going to start with Pollard. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. This defense just continues to bottle up that ground game. And look, I mean, the deficit right now for this offense is so big that it might not matter. But you're still in the third quarter. They're probably going to have to try things through the air, Charles.
I agree with you totally. That's what they'll have to do. They do need to run it occasionally to take a few hits off the quarterback, because right now, you just know those pass rushers are fired up to get after it.
Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up. Throwing now is Tagovailoa, and that will be incomplete.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
This is taken at the 23. Call that a punt of 38 yards officially.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Play action. Now Wilson. And he completes it to Hunt. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense, because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get it out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
82 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and turn his legs for a really nice pickup.
On 1st down, they'll run with Hunt. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 34. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hunt. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning it in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. A give right side now to Hunt. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play.
And not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw.
And oh, that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way. So he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it. Just move on to the next play.
They go play action now. Wilson. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. A 16-yard touchdown.
And the Broncos are pouring it on. Well, on the other sideline right now, it's just absolute dejection. But, Charles, let's focus on the positive. With the lead that they built here, they've done pretty much everything to perfection in this ball game.
They certainly have. Makes me think that their week of preparation was excellent. And they flowed into this game, and it carried over. And right now, I don't expect them to back off at all. They're playing so well, they just want to keep it going.
Extra point up and good by Folk. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board.
Fields this way up at the 17. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down. Here's Riley Dixon now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. It's taken to the 26.
A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10.
Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field.
Well, they got to be thrilled with how they've operated so far in this one. They've got the nice lead, and now a chance to score here on 3 straight possessions.
Yeah, and the way that they are rolling, I just don't know how they get slowed down, because they certainly are operating at peak efficiency right now. They might want to think about giving some of their backups a little bit of work, though. Let some other guys get on the field and do their thing and save some of this.
A fight for it, and this is caught. What a catch. And all the way home for a Broncos score. A great effort there. 63 yards.
And the Broncos get another third quarter touchdown to add on to that lead.
All the talk when Russell Wilson came into the league about his height, you know, those big defensive linemen, can he get the ball over him? You get him outside the pocket like that, doesn't really matter.
No, it really doesn't, and you're exactly right. Many people dinged him for that and said, how's he going to see over NFL linemen? He never did, right? At whatever level, he saw through them and found pockets and windows to throw the football. But as you noted, when he's outside the pocket and his vision is totally clear, oh, look out, because he's going to find someone downfield, as we just saw there.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Dolphins offense returning to the field. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now Tua finding his big receiver Patrick over the middle. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Tim Patrick's the one who can catch the ball.
Tua sets up to pass it. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. Well, I mean, you get it. They're trying to make something happen here in this 3rd quarter, CD, but I don't think a pick 6 is exactly what they had in mind.
No, not at all, because this offense, they've been stuck all game long. Haven't dented the scoreboard yet, and they're kind of forced to take a few chances here. And that one, it backfired in a big way.
Folk connects on the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Folk out there now to kick this one off. Pulls it in at the 13. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The Dolphins about set to go to work on offense. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. Tagovailoa trying again after the pick 6. Outright, this one goes to Patrick. The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Here's Tua. That throw complete to his tight end Long. First target, first catch, and a first down.
Oh my God, the first down. They're alive.
You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
And now here is another interception. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And guys, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. Play action. It's Wilson. Rolling to his right. And a throw right sideline is complete. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. That one goes for 24 yards.
Well, partner, nothing but praise from me for this offense. They have been tremendous all night long. They knew what they had to do to unlock the defense. And let's face it, this has been a master class in offensive football that we've been here to witness.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Handoff up the middle, Hunt. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 130 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. Kareem Hunt, his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 9 on the season. So he had the nice run to get him down there, was stopped just short of the goal line, but they go right back to him, CD, and he delivers to finish the drive off.
A little extra determination there, don't you think, partner? You notice he didn't tap on his helmet and say, get me out after the run down to the end zone. He said, I almost got in. I'm going to get in on my own. I'm staying in. And he carries it across the goal line.
Extra point up and good by Folk. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board.
A fairly short kick from the 14. And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
The Dolphins getting set to go here.
And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
The pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down.
Samson Abukum able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time.
Talk about two sides of the ball at cross purposes, because mercifully this game's almost over for the offense, but the defense, they still want to get a few shots in. That front seven, they've loved this ball game. They've been able to pad their stats, and maybe some backups can get in and get a sack as well.
That's out to the flat for Edmonds.
And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. The Dolphins on third down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This will be third and a mile. Draw play, Edmonds. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up fourth down. Here's Riley Dixon now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Returnable here from the 38. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And it'll be a short field for the Broncos as they take over 1st and 10.
Denver's offense now set to go. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a first down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
They run again with Hunt. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
Oh, Wilson going to throw. And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete.
Up huge on the scoreboard, and they're still trying to add to their total. That shot doesn't connect, but I don't think it'll dissuade them from attempting another one.
And that is incomplete.
The Charles are still airing it out at this point despite that huge lead. And some people may be saying, well, why are they throwing the football? These guys, I guess, are just padding their stats at this point.
Yeah, there are a lot of big grins, I think, from people in their families, from themselves. You're exactly right. Pad the stats when you get an opportunity. It'll certainly help you come contract time.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Broncos unable to convert here.
I wanted to give them a chance.
The Dolphins defense is able to hold. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that, saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. Some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got...
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Another touchdown here in the fourth quarter. And, Charles, I think we can start to consider that this undefeated streak of theirs is going to be safe for another week.
And, partner, you don't make it this far into a season without a loss unless you're getting contributions from both sides of the ball and sometimes even your special teams. And that's been true today. Each side helping guide them to this late lead.
Folk connects on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. Pulls it in at the 13. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. And out come the Dolphins now. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny. I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario like what feels good to you, what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like one possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run to have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
Here's Tagovailoa on 1st and 10. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Tua going to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. This is taken at about the 14. Excellent work on the run back there, 33 yards. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 48. They'll begin the drive with Hunt. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game. Trying to establish the inside run with toughness now. Hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Wilson wants to throw it. That's caught inside the 20. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. Now another timeout called for by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run with Hunt. Boy, 179 yards rushing for him now as his big night continues. For the winning
winning team here, Charles. That's about as big and clean of a win as you could hope for in the National Football League. No turnovers. Meanwhile, you forced turnovers. You didn't allow any points, and you put up a bunch of points. What an effort.
And, Brandon, I just have to ask you, that's all the stuff that we saw happen today. Those are statistics, numbers, the whole deal. But my question is, how does one team come ready to play and the other one, obviously, not ready at all?
Well, I mean, I obviously don't have an answer